sorry, those who are incorrupt and steal money, that I beg that the money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.
Stop the line, yo.
Happy birthday to our own sister, Madam Kolu Smo. Happy birthday to you. Kindly hit for us the share button, please.
What's the current monthly income of a governor and
So currently, the salary
So kindly hit for us the share button while we are doing the same.
gross.
Kindly do us a favor. Hit for us the share button, please.
I am entitled to, I think, 7,008.
no, you acting governor, don't think now. You already been there.
Yes, yes. But this is it. Since I was appointed acting governor on August 1, I have not attempted taking the salary, the benefits, neither have I moved.
No, that's not my question.
So
So
after your
nominee,
I will.
you won't do pro bono fund. You won't do pro bono fund. What is the salary structure? The income, monthly income structure.
That's what I was saying. The salary, that's the gross, and a cash allowance of 7,800 gross.
You have not answered the question.
That's monthly. So are you asking for all the benefits of
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes.
So the governor, again, gets a monthly salary of $10,000 gross, a cash allowance of 7,800 gross. The governor is entitled to a housing allowance
Monthly.
monthly.
How
No, month is so monthly is 5,000 gross. He's entitled to
So leave it, bro. That comes in. Yeah.
no because the tax rate changes. The exchange rate changes. So I can give you.
So you are using 60,000 every year for housing allowance.
Yes, gross. So it's paid less taxes.
As Darius Dillon, who campaigned against private jet, use of private jet against President Weah, I want to publicly apologize to President Weah. Why? Because we did not understand the constraints and
Kaba
the
Rogers,
reasons
you are
and the
welcome.
justification
Welcome,
for
Kaba
using
Rogers.
private jet by the president of Liberia. We condemn it. Now, both say, don't apologize. Lord, let me tell you, this country, they say when you wrong, play traffic and say you're not wrong. They can respect you, they can honor you for the year. Look, let me tell you something. In good conscience, it's good to admit that you're wrong so that you can correct the wrong. We see the need for the use of private jet. But
I saw that when I was in Abuja when President Boakai went there. I narrated that on
yes, we see the need, and I said now, the use of private jet by the president of Liberia. The thing that can solve it, the private jet issue, is for us to procure a presidential jet for Liberia, for the use of the president and for official use. We did not understand, and we callers and those who listen. Let me address this private jet issue. My response may not go down well. As Darius Dillon, who campaigned against private jet, use of private jet against President Weah, I want to publicly apologize to President Weah. Why? Because we did not understand the constraints and the reasons and the justification for using private jet by the president of Liberia. We condemn it. Now, both say, don't apologize. Lord, let me tell you, this country, they say when you wrong, play traffic and say you're not wrong. They can respect you, they can honor you for the year. Look, let me tell you something. In good conscience, it's good to admit that you're wrong so that you can correct the wrong. We see the need for the use of private jet. But
I saw that when I was in Abuja when President Boakai went there. I narrated that on
yes, we see the need, and I said now, the use of private jet by the president of Liberia. The thing that can solve it, the private jet issue, is for us to procure a presidential jet for Liberia, for the use of the president and for official use. We did not understand, callers and those who listen. Let me address this private jet issue. My response may not go down well. As Darius Dillon, who campaigned against private jet, use of private jet against President Weah, I want to publicly apologize to person here.
Why?
Because we did not understand the constraints and the reasons and the justification for using private jet by the personal librarian. We condemn it. Now, both say, don't apologize. Lord, let me tell you, this country, they say when you wrong, play traffic and say you're not wrong. They can respect you, they can honor you for the year. Lord, let me tell you something. In good conscience, it's good to admit that you're wrong so that you can correct the wrong. We see the need for the use of private jet. But
I saw that when I was in Abuja when President Boakai went there. I narrated that on
yes, we see the need, and I said no. The use of private jet by the personal librarian. The thing that can solve it, the private jet issue, is for us to procure a presidential jet for Liberia, for the use of the president and for official use. We did not understand, and we continue. 10,000 gross, 7,000 gross, then another 5,000 gross.
Yes,
For all the gross that are getting
well, that's 15 plus 7, that's 22.
Okay, 22,000 gross.
Yes.
Net,
I wouldn't say because I haven't
Kindly for us the share button, share with friends,
taken it, so I
share with
wouldn't know
family
what
members.
is net.
Let's get
and
ready.
again, the net would vary month to month. Yes, I paid them.
So you should know.
The salary of the deputy is 9,000. And then the housing allowance 46,000.
So kindly hit for us the share button.
Cash allowance.
You are acting deputy governor as we speak. You've been there for how many months? Acting.
Since September 1st.
Since September.
Yeah.
You should know why you're earning monthly off here already.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
No, but you come here across as a snowman and you're not using the back. I'm not hearing you.
Yeah. And just like the governor said, we don't control the payroll.
How much you receiving?
I get a net compliance of my salary in my income. I mean in my account. And it varies from bank from month to month.
You know we made.
All right, so fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here. And we want to take this time to extend our thanks and appreciation to all of you that have joined us. Again, as usual, we ask that you do us a favor. And that favor that we require of you is to kindly hit for us the share button. Is to invite friends, invite family members, and let us have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Whenever we are here to bring you authentic, factual information. We are not here to hype the feelings of people. We are not here to bring down people. We are here to give you the actuality. We are here to give you the actuality. So as usual, I want to say thanks to Helena Kiakoli. Thank you so very kindly for hitting for us the share button. We do appreciate you. Rising Sun, we want to say thank you for your presence here. Kaba Rogers, we appreciate you. Simon G. Daves, thank you so very kindly. Lincoln, thank you very kindly for joining us. We do appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. We also want to use this time to welcome and appreciate Abe Boakai. You are highly welcome. Thank you so very kindly. Thank you so very kindly. So again, just hit for us the share button. Let's do this. While this is playing, we need to send clip out. So let's
And especially this
do
institution.
this while we're treating what we have in
So
the
while
back.
you're kind of you don't take it serious because even us here, we won't be serious. You're in a position since September, and you said that net you can receive, you know your gross, you know what you're making,
No, I showed you my gross salary.
No, you didn't say it.
9,000 gross salary.
Yes.
And I said 46,000 as housing allowance. Gross. That's what I said.
That's not all.
And there's a cash allowance. That's what I was trying to figure out. It's around 2,000 is something I don't know the exact sum. Yeah.
Why when you pay your whole way around close to on here? Why do you know what exactly?
Because we didn't anticipate the question, so that's the reason why you have to think through it.
So you receive it monthly, you don't know. I can tell you my salary. Some of my friends that make up. I'm making $10,994 gross. $7,963 net.
I mean, I'm open, and like I mentioned here earlier on, and I think Dylan said, well, you want to do a open service. We went in there with a mindset of serving our country. As much as I need the compensation, because I got family to take care of, I have earned it, but I haven't taken a penny.
When confirmed, will you take the back pay?
Of course, I think I earned it.
So then don't take credit for it.
Well, let me take credit for it.
It's just a saving. You only enjoy your retirement now for IB. And after that process, you still take your money. But you appear, so you have
But Senator, I think most people, when they went in, for instance, I'm not using the car. I should be using the car. That's a benefit that is,
So you don't have transfer allowance?
I don't take a penny. They give you a car.
Will it be prorated?
No. The car is parked and I'm not using it. So that is a benefit to the institution and not me.
But you get your money. You will get all the money back.
I will get the salary, but they're not going to give me money for using my personal vehicle for this period of 7 months.
When you get all that kind of money, you don't need that long money.
No, it's not needed. Other people benefit from this, and it's also actually not.
You remember the Austin Powers movies? Well, one of the actors is now in prison for life.
Let's get ready. Let's get started as we bring in our people. Detroit, you are welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let's welcome our brother Frank Ogonganu Molba. My brother, welcome. Welcome from the very long and wonderful family time vacation. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Brother Prince. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, what's up, brother? Where you been? Where you been to? What country?
Of course, the motherland, the home country.
Okay. Okay, how was it? How was it?
Man, that's a long story, man.
Okay.
I know. We try to dive into that. But again, we want to say welcome to you. We want to say welcome to you. You are welcome. We want to say welcome to all of our people. As usual, we ask that our people kindly hit for us the share button. They can share with friends, share with family members, so that all of us get ready. But my brother, Jake, let's hear from you. How's your end?
Yeah, my end is cool. Everything going cool. The weather changing now. Probably tomorrow is the 1st of March. So probably the weather in Europe getting lower now. Cool probably will be coming in summer by April, beginning April 18th. So yeah, for yes, it's okay. Yeah.
All right, that's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. So there are a lot of things on our plate that we are going to be talking about. And the first thing we're going to be starting with has to do with the incident of recent that we experience that have become, like a trending issue. That is this violence or this growing wave of violence within the security sector, where you have members of the armed forces of Liberia. On the other hand, you have the Liberian National Police on the other end, and you also have the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency on the other end. Because these are the people, especially the Liberian National Police and the DEA, that have been in the news of recent. That have been in the news. So, we're going to talk about it. But let's hear from our brother Frank. I know, with the exception of what we have on our list, maybe you have other one or two things. Let's give you the next 2 minutes to hear what are some of the things you have on your list, that you think during the course of this discussion that you would like to talk about. Let's hear you within the next 2 minutes.
I mean, everything, it entails everything, because the issue of Liberia is not even something to even think about to try to pinpoint anything. Liberia, at this point of time, we are at a very critical period, and it's not even coming soon, because we have 35 years or to experience all the chaos and issues happening in the country. Again, this was talked about during the election. Other people prophesied about it, and it is coming to reality. And we also spoke about it, right? And we were never taken serious by other people. To be frank with you, Better Prince, and to the audience watching, I am not sorry for what is happening to Liberia. I am only sorry, however, on the other hand, for those who understood us and listened to us and made a right decision by voting for the man or for the party we said was the good choice to vote for. Those are the people I am deeply sorry for, and those are the people that I will speak for at this time. But the people who never listen, and they call our names and they say all kinds of things about us, we were stupid, we were dumb. The issue here is they are the one that did the dumpiest voting, and they are the one going through it, and to the extent is affecting even the people who made the right choice. Let me make this clear, Brother Prince, before you even come in. Liberia is at a point where it's like an idiot, right? Who have a torchlight, and we all know the importance of the torchlight. Mainly, it is used for darkness so that you can be able to see. Now, Liberia had this torchlight, right? And instead of them using that torchlight in the dark, the entire time was dark. They couldn't see. They never make use of the torchlight. They never used it. But daylight came, and then that's the time they want to use the torchlight. That means they do not know the difference between daylight and darkness. What is used for darkness and what is used for daylight? They use the torchlight for daylight, for darkness, for daylight. And now this is a kind of situation we're going through. That means Boakai was not the kind of man to vote for, and we talk about it. This was a man that told Liberian people, I don't know how to make policy. I don't know how to run policy. I don't know how to implement policy. I don't know how to run the country. How best could this man explain this thing to you for you to understand? And DeLong came later on, as you are playing a video, he said, what George Weah did, and we criticize, we have come to apologize because at that time we did not know. But the issue here is imposition of search. Before you come out to make any statement, you have to do your research perfectly. So in order to come out to say President George Weah was using public funds by using private jet, they should have gone to make research to see the importance of president using private jet and those things. But again, like I said, there are many things to talk about. We can talk about anything here, but Liberia, I was there. I spent almost a month. Prince, almost everyone in the country angry. I'm telling you.
Thank you. We'll come there. Let's keep that one. It's the crust of the discussion. Let's keep it. Let's go to our brother Jake. My brother Jake, I know we'll be discussing series of issues, but let's hear what you have on your plate that you may want us to discuss. Let's hear from
you. Yeah, thank you, Prince. And thank you, Brother Frank, for coming back safely from Liberia. Yeah, and Prince, what I would like to say is very important here, but it concerning concerning the rule of law now, what's going on between the police, the military, the DEA. I guess something to say here that I've been dreaming on it. I will predict something here for seeing it that will happen. So when we got to that topic, I'm just requesting you to give me like 5 minutes. I will lay down the principles. It's the same thing where to start. It's very serious. I told you I've been dreaming on it. I've foreseen it's a prediction. I hope what we explain it shouldn't happen. I want for the followers to share this video. Prince, we're making a lot of waves now. I've seen people in Europe. Let me congratulate you for your hard work. You're the most talk about person now in Europe. A lot of people hearing your story. They're talking about one on the Palava Hall, the Prince Sherry show. So continue it. The only thing we need to do, just as a followers then here, we are appealing to them. We are in 20 this year now. We're very appealing to them to take part in that debate, but we're very serious now to contact our radio station that will be relaying us in Liberia. So any contribution to the followers now, we're taking this serious now. No playing anymore. It's time. So we're asking the followers then to help to contribute your follower. Very important principle, the link whatsoever. We're really serious now, and we'll come to other people. We'll read other institutions to see how best they can help us for us to buy equipment and other things. So pray that we're about to start now. Yeah, then we can just start. But my thing I want to tell you, consider the rule of law and other things that will baffle people here tonight. Yeah.
Thank you so very kindly. We are also privileged to be joined by a distinguished Liberian, one who has impacted the lives of many young people in Liberia. And he is a mentor, and a teacher. I remember our days back home. These are people who guide us, in our student politics or in advocacy and etc. So we are privileged to have with us a big brother, a friend, a leader, the Prezo himself, Honorable Patrick Sua. Honorable Patrick Sua, welcome on the Palava Hot, sir.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Prince, and the other panelists. I mean, I'm happy that I'm here to share ideas, but also share ideas in the interest of Liberia. Thank you so pretty much.
All right. Thank you so very kindly, and you are highly welcome as always. We want to start with the very first issue that is on our list here that has to do with the growing wave of violence that we are observing, or one would say, the kind of tense atmosphere or toxic atmosphere that we are experiencing from our or within the security sector. Of recent, we saw what happened in King Jaw. Members of the Liberia National Police. Okay, we want to use this time also to welcome our guest, our special guest here, the Honorable Ja Winking Wee. How are you, Mr. Wee? You are welcome. Thank you for joining us on the Palava Hot, sir.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff, for inviting me. Pleasure to be here. It's we are anyway.
Okay, we are. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, we are. All right. Thank you. Thank you so very kindly. So you just right in time. Uh, the first issue that we want to look at, like I was saying, has to do with the growing wave of tension, if one would say, or maybe violence, or the kind of toxic atmosphere that we're experiencing as it relates to the security sector. uh, we can all recall that when this government, let's start back from the days of opposition, we saw that during the campaign, there was a very, very tense atmosphere where in Lofa County, where the president hailed from, we heard on video, in fact, it was on open recording, someone who is today the internal affairs minister of the Republic of Liberia, who is a nephew to the president. We saw that he had some issue with a security personnel who is a border patrol, we say, or immigration officer in Lofa. And we saw this man at the police station ordering because of some dissatisfaction. that he was going to order men on the bike to move to wherever that particular individual was to ensure that he unalive this individual. We heard the threats that he issued right before the police. And it was in the same Lofa County that we saw, the death of Momo, Tamba Momo, who in a broad daylight, he was murdered by some members, of the Unity Party. The clips are here. We have the clips. The clips are here. Nothing happened. We also saw what happened right in Central Monrovia with one of our sister by the name of Queen Johnson. This sister aided and abetted in beating a brother. We saw her holding onto that brother, one Joshua, and the next time we got to know that brother died in the hospital. We also saw what happened in Corway with a brother in the issue of the electricity. They alleged that these brothers, allegedly stole current. The team went there and police beat on that brother and he lost his life. We also have incidents where you have citizens dying in police cells, and also the level of tension that is between the military or some military officers and that of the police, and the way the police handle cases, especially when it comes to motorcyclists. But of recent, this is concerning, and I want to start from you, who is our guest, sir. With all of these different one will say tension, what is going on? What are you observing? You've been in, the political arena for a while, or you've been, observing issue for a while. For the next 3 minutes, let's hear from you. What are you observing? What is going on? What is the interpretation of all of these things, especially within the security sector? For
Okay.
the next 3 minutes, let's hear from you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much again. What I can say is that it is very disappointing that Liberians are, what I can say is that very disappointed, because with President Boakai, prior to this election, many people that I have spoken to thought because of the time he had serving government in different capacities would have made a big difference. But to my disappointment, personal disappointment, for example, the current police director was the same man who was the police director when Salif was president. Our country, Liberia, we are just about 5 million people compared to other countries. But the problem we have in that country is our people in power believe that it is about them, not about the people. That's my observation. Specifically with Boakai, one would have thought that with the message during his campaign of rescue, one would have thought that he would have brought about a genuine change, a real change, not only on the security level, but in the life of Liberians. As I always said, the children in Liberia, there is nothing to fight for. What do I mean by that? For example, we don't have water in Liberia. You've been in Monrovia recently. People pulling things. Water is part of security. If, for example, if Boakai were to say, we need water in this place, but this is what is required, and provide fundings for people to be trained, people will be willing to fight for it, to go for training, no matter what is the position. But that is they have Boakai been visiting other African countries. Like what's happening now with the Burkina Faso president, even though people say it's a military junta, but he's pushing the cause of the people. He can do that too. The idea in Liberia, even if you were to take a case to the police, if you don't have money, your case will not go anywhere. You call the police, you pay their way, you pay money for papers. So I want to know, where is the rescue? Where is the rescue? It's my question. So
Wow.
on the security level, where is the rescue? Liberians are still dying. What is the difference? That's my question to people who are listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Weah. Thank you so much. Where is the rescue? I want to go to the Honorable Patrick Soa. Honorable Patrick Soa, you are one person that have been very, very engaged with the system, with young people from the days of, Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former president of the Republic of Liberia. You've been very engaged with young people, and you have, interacted with so many prominent individuals within our, whether be it the security sector or let's say in our body politics. Sir, what is happening of recent with this particular, growing wave of violence, of discontentment, in the security sector? Let's hear from you. What is your worry? What are you observing? As an actor in Liberia, a political actor, what are you seeing? What are the implications, as it relates to what is happening in our society? Let's hear from you, sir, within the next 3 minutes. Let's hear from you. Welcome again.
Sir, Mr. We are correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Question about what's happening to the rescue mission. The rescue mission has been hijacked by unknowing forces. Other the forces are Boko Haram. I don't know. They are Janjaweed militias. I don't know whether they are Hamas. I don't know whether they are M23 rebels, terrorists, Al Qaeda. I don't know. But all I can safely say that the rescue mission has been hijacked by unknowing forces. And predicated on this, I have the right to declare on this show that Liberia is proceeding wrongly. We signed a social contract with the government of Liberia. The government told us, say, give us some of your freedoms, and I will give you security. I will give you safe society. I will give you authority. I will give you place to live. Where? If I don't do that, take your freedom back from me. What I think we'll do is about time. Government is not giving us the society we're supposed to live based on the contract we signed with the government. It's about time they have broken their contract. We have no option is to mobilize the forces to take the freedom back from the government. To your question, what's happening? No one is in charge. The definition of leadership, it means you lead from the front. Normally people can say lead from the back. I disagree. No one seems to be in charge. Things are falling apart. The center is not going to hold. Suggestions, recommendations are coming in too much. And the president, his age, he's not vigilant, he's not strong, he's not going to be proactive. And this is the reason why you saw Wednesday, very first time in the history of Liberia. I have a background in history. for AFL to leave the barracks without the consent of the of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. Not only in Liberia, I've never heard about that in any country. Before the army leave the barracks, it must be, not it should be, it must be the consent of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. But the fact that they left the barracks without the consent of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia, it means no one is charged. It's dangerous, it's terrible, it's psychotic. It means that the president himself, AFL can overthrow him anytime. The fact that they left Wednesday, they came without the president's consent, it means they can leave that barrier and go to the march and overthrow him anytime. So no one seems to be in charge. Everybody doing their own setting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very kindly, sir. Before I go to our brother Frank for his 3 minutes, is it concerning? We're listening to the spokesperson of the military, Major Jebo, who said in his deliberation on OKFM that these people were unknown men. That particular word, looking at these people in military attire and listening to the army spokesperson classifying those people as unknown men, is it worrisome? Is it something like, because you just made mention, of this thing is very worrisome, that if care is not taken, I'm just not being very verbatim, but if care is not taken, these people have the propensity or the potential to be able to do something very funny, to overthrow the government. And listening to the army spokesperson saying that these people are, unidentified men, is it concerning for the
It is.
next 30 seconds? Is it concerning to you?
It is. It is. In fact, if I were the president, I would fire the chief of staff. I would fire the chief of staff. I was going to tell him first yesterday, fire that guy because he's unprofessional. He lacks communication skills. He lacks empathy skill. The first thing he should have done yesterday was, Mr. Clarence Jackson, it's my pleasure to be on your show. I want to first use a medium to call on Liberian to remain calm. Things are under control. We want to apologize for any inconvenience, but we are working together. We assure the public that the panic, relax, we'll work on it before you come now to make clarity. But he spoke like no different from Palava Hot. The way those days we used to say, let me quickly erect your point in this guy's stuff. No, you are a professional man. That's how you will speak on BBC. You don't speak like that. So it tells you that it is dangerous that these guys don't know what they're doing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. It is dangerous and signs that they don't know what they are doing. Wow, a strong one. But let's go to our brother. My brother, you listening to the question. My brother Frank, what have you to say with what is happening? You just from Liberia, and I'm very sure at least you were able to observe some things, even though you were there on a family vacation, but you were able to observe some things. Within the next 3 minutes, I want you to tell us all of what we are seeing in the security sector. What is going on? What is your concern? Is it something that Liberians should be concerned of, or we should just, say, well, this is just a common thing. It happening all over, so it's no problem. Let's hear from you.
It is very concerning, Brother Prince, when it comes to the security of the nation. I mean, we are talking about 5 million people plus, right? Then we see this kind of a thing going on. Like the other two panelists said, let us be frank here. We're talking about soldiers. We're talking about army here. And we know what army mean. These are people, you don't see them officer like that. You only see them on certain occasion. You only see them on certain, mission that look, Liberia is a small country, right? We're not trying to compare it with the United States. But in terms of the security of the army personnel in Liberia, if we want to say it, they are like the CIA or the FBI. These are people you hardly see outside. If you see them outside, then that means it is very, very serious. That to see, let me say something here. To see, right, the army personnel outside at that time, and not just outside, but with army vehicles, right? With army vehicles, logistics, with them on the street, and went to go meet police officers of what happened between them and the police. Now, they went there. What did we see? We saw nothing but fear in citizens. We saw nothing but the world see Liberia as a failed state. The world see Liberia as a nation where the so-called investor, I don't know if they are investor, will not go, even Liberians themselves, in various parts of the world, okay, will not feel pleased to go to Liberia with their money, with their high-end finances that they have worked for overseas to go in Liberia at this time to do any investment, because the security apparatus in the nations, right, are getting together. Like I watched another video today. The police officer clashed again with immigration officer, to the extent they took the immigration officer motorbike. Look, these people are playing phone with the country. They need to understand diplomatic how to call it a boundary. Okay, you cannot go about the police. You cannot go about running the state, the nation like that. You need to understand diplomatic relationship with various security apparatus in the country, because at the end of the day, all of you guys are fighting for one common goal, and our common goal is to make sure peace and security is to Liberia, is to make sure people live in harmony. But again, you see, all these things are happening, right? Let's do this. In order to elect someone, I'm going to the president now. I mean, it even happened in the United States. We that live in the diaspora here, all right? They look at the person's track record. They look at the person's performance, and that performance is your work output. And then next thing, they look at your success. Your success is your impact that you have on people. Now, looking at Joseph Imam Boakai track record, what impact, what success, what input does he have, or does he have in Liberia, that Liberian people who have looked at and said, you know what, this man, even though he is 90s but does not know his age, right? But what he have done for this country, let paid him. For example, we saw John McCain, all right? When John McCain went with Obama, the United States wanted to reward John McCain with the presidency because he was a war prisoner. What he did for the country, he sacrificed for the country. So they wanted to give him, that as a payback to him for his serving the country. But the only reason why they did not give the presidency to him is because, or it was because at that time he was carrying the same policy of George Bush when George Bush was at giving power during the time where America was going through another depression. So it was like, no, we cannot give McCain the country when he's carrying George Bush policy, right? But with Boakai, what was the reason to give him the country? A man who does not understand that he is the commander-in-chief of every security apparatus in the country. All right? But now, he should have taken a stand. But now, to call all various security apparatus and talk to them and try to put them in place. But we have seen over and over and over and over, there have been disagreement within the security apparatus, within the security forces of the country. And Joseph Imam Boakai have not yet come out, commander-in-chief of every security sector of the nation. He have not yet come out to put these people under control. And we see these things going, and we're playing phone with it. Let me tell you this. We have 5 years to go through this, and to the extent, look, there is no security for Liberian people in that country.
Thank you so very kindly. Let's go to our brother Detroit. My brother Detroit, let's hear from you with all of these things that are happening. The Army spokesperson is saying unknown Army men coming from in the Barry in our Liberian way. Unknown Army men. Police people are going about. Some of them you can barely identify. Let's hear from you. Running behind motorcyclists going on cars, death, etc. Let's hear from you, sir. Sorry, just unmute yourself. I'm coming. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Prince, I think you gave me 4 minutes.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, because that's my main topic. Because I told you this is my main topic. Prince, let me tell you something tonight. Probably it will rub a lot of fellow. That's my prediction, or I foreseen this will happen. Prince, there will be nothing they call 2029. Listen, Liberian people waiting for 2029 for the next election. Let me tell the people here tonight, the hierarchy of the unity, the CDC, the ALP, the ANC, the Gongro party, there will be nothing they call, I foreseen it, I predicting it. Probably this may not be real. Probably I should be wrong. Preach, the unity party president, Joseph Boakai, came to power. He broke all the rule of law. He even challenged the Supreme Court. The first branch of government in disarray. We don't have a first branch of government. The speaker, the valley horse. What I foresee here is my prediction. I hope it shouldn't happen. Please, before 2029 before 2029, they will overthrow Boakai. Listen to me. You are finishing the sound, the writing on the wall. Let's call it spade or space here. The unity parties are party of violence. What they will do, they scared of the opposition to come back to power, especially George Manuel Weah, because the way they're proceeding. So what would they do? To not allow people to come to power because they won't hold on to power, they were playing a fake coup to ousted Boakai, all of that thing. The similar thing that they happen in Guinea, where Doumbouya came to power. I've seen it, I've foreseen it, I dream about this thing here. You see what happened between the military and the police? You saw what the citizens did? Go to the video. The citizens embracing the military. They want the military, we want the military. From this team, we get the violent speaker, we get the violent host, the branch of government not functioning, everything getting disarray. What will come over? The military can come. Probably the military can seize power. As the first, probably our first guy said, anyway, he said, as he said, Prince, if possible, there will be nothing they call 2029. So I'm calling on the opposition leaders now. Let them put aside that differences. Put aside that differences. The military shouldn't get involved in our politics. You see what going around in the West African region, the junta in the West African region, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, they are all junta. ECOWAS will not do nothing. OAU will not do nothing. AU will not do nothing. They will only condemn military coup, but nothing will come out of it. Sanction will be zero. It happened in Guinea. Let me elaborate something. Similar thing I predicted it can similar vote that in 7 long free time. And Malabio will not run again. Probably Malabio will make his own military. Armed Forces Day, Malabio came and spoke to our AFL. They spoke to the Armed Forces Day. Why Boakai invited Malabio? We don't know the reason why. I'm predicting this. I've foreseen it. I've seen it in my dream. If Liberia not careful, we'll not see 2029. So that in case I've foreseen it or predicting it, I hope it shouldn't happen. The military shouldn't get involved in the Liberian politics. They should stay aside. You see, we're having a gullible society, Prince. First year, we're having a gullible society. A riot between the national police and the military. You saw the chief of staff, my brother said, the chief of staff should never come on that situation. No. The commander of the armed forces of Liberia is Boakai. He should have summoned the chief of staff. Why you brought your military officer? But let me remind you, you're quick to forget something here. The similar thing almost go down in Liberia with Prince Johnson today. When you are chief of staff, the armed forces of Liberia, under George Weah. When the president traveled to Qatar, Prince Johnson, one of radio station, said a lot of people, opposition people, getting text message to overthrow the government. You might not forget. You might not forget. Opposition to Prince Johnson, now Ellen boss, to overthrow the president when the president was also doing a World Cup in Qatar. But he never implemented that mandate. But he had test messages. But the mistake the former president made when he came back, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia, he never summoned him to say, let me see the test messages. Who then told you to overthrow me? But Georgia swept it under the rug. Prince, we're on a crossroad. Boakai is old. In the United Party, probably, I say I'm predicting something here. It could be fast or I could be wrong. I hope the military not get involved. Boakai's strength is failing. The next, if Boakai gave power, if Boakai leave power by 2020, I'm predicting something probably 2027, 2028, he can transfer power to Jeremiah Kuhn. But there will be a political rankling within the United Party that will never accept Jeremiah Kuhn. So they were playing a fake coup. Similar thing happened in Guinea with Conte, with Lassana Conte, with Dumuyaki and overthrow Conte. Everybody saw that coup. But today we know it was a fake coup. Conte brought Dumuya as a security picking from France and living in Europe here. The story all in Europe here. Now how he seized power. Conte went for Mexico and now Conte is back in Guinea. Anything can go down in Liberia. We're having a godable society. Prince are predicting it. I'm foreseeing it. I hope it shouldn't happen because I know my country. I just say something because Boakai broke all the rule of law when he came to power. He taken a position, all these things. So we are the crossroad. So all the political leaders in that country, as you come together now, they should. This kind of thing shouldn't happen in our country. We'll go 20 years back. That's why I just predicting it. I foreseen it happening. I hope it shouldn't happen.
Thank you. We'll go to Mr. Weir on this. And want for you to use the next 2 minutes, sir. With all of these things that are happening, you have observed, you have seen, you saw what happened back in the 80s, military taking over. Today we are seeing the civilian on the street. Hey, the army we won. These were the same civilian back in the 80s that were saying, native woman born soldier kid
Yes.
the same civilian. Sir, what
Yes.
would be your recommendation with all of these things that is happening, especially in the security sector? Let's hear from you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to talk briefly about Talbot. Even though I did not see Talbot, well, I read a lot of stuff about Liberia. Talbot was what I can say, everybody, that Talbot died on what I call time bomb. Talbot is the president who brought about multi-party democracy in Liberia. Talbot died on time bomb because he delivered a speech at the UN then against the United States regarding the Palestine and the Israelis. And they were very happy about that because Talbot criticized America to say that the Palestinians are also human beings. So if your fight is about human rights, those are human beings as well, and that they don't go well with the American people then. Talbot also was the man, for example, who ordered the execution of a brother when there was a killing going on in Liberia. People were executed. Ali Yancey, all the people. That was Talbot. Talbot had a policy that he used to call from mat to mattress. It was Talbot. I'm saying Talbot died on time bomb because Talbot was the only president who were really serious for real transformation. Not only that, when Talbot died, this is what Liberian people are still missing. H. Boemba Formula Sr. was the first keynote address speaker. And he gave a parable then to Samuel Doe and his friends. Boemba Formula Jr., not Senior, he talks about 3 cows. You got the white, the black, and the red. And all the 3 cows had what? One enemy, that was leopard. So in order for them to live in peace, they decided to work together, the 3 cows. Because once the 3 of them work together, nobody will penetrate. But one day when they were on the field, The black cow was a little bit distant from the two. The leopard one that whisper in the ear. Say your friends told you that you are so black, so they are going away from you. Black cow didn't ask. Leopard killed it. The thing happened. And that story is how PRC people kill one another. The same thing is still going on in Liberia. Liberians are not learning. That country was supposed to be a country to show whether black man was capable to govern himself or herself. We are not learning. We had a civil war, people died. We keep doing the same thing over and over. Military dictatorship is not a solution. We tried that. Samuel Doe came to power and people died, people Boto, people know what happened when other child Judo, all these people, I was in Nigo Town. All these things happened in that country. Jackson F. Doe won that elections. The Amon Hammer changed around. Doe used to call him Oakley Jackson F. Doe. But what I'm saying is that we experience all of these things, and Liberians people are not learning. We are not learning in that country. Nobody will come from the heaven, no international community, no America, no Europe, only Liberian themselves. We ourselves can face that country. And the only way to do that is that we say we are a democratic country. Why can't we allow the rule of law to take place? No matter who is in power, no matter who is involved, we need to make sure that there is a rule of law. The presidency should not stand in the way. The president should not usurp the function of any branch of government. Once we do that, there should be accountability. Because the problem we have in our country is, as I say always, the children in that country, girls, are selling their pride for school fees. Do they want to do it? No, because there is no hope. Who is going to bring hope in that country? We should not fight, but I hope Boakai lines, I hope Boakai should go back while we keep going back into war. All those who are around, whether we are political, nothing wrong for to have a lot of political parties. But the idea is we need to have something to fight for. When Boakai took power,
You are muted. You are muted, sir. Oh, okay. I think probably he has received a call. But
Yeah.
let's hear from you, my brother Frank, in the next 2 minutes for you to run up on this. And as you conclude, I just want you to conclude with a recommendation with what is happening. Okay, you are back, Mr.
yeah,
Weir. You are back, sir.
yeah. So what I was saying is that I see people talking a lot of stuff in Liberia. That country, I do a lot of research. That country is rich. The population is very less. We got more resources in that country. I can cry when all the research are doing. We are just Ghana about 18 million or whatsoever, 16 million, but we are about 5 million. We got more just big land. I hope Boakai, I don't preach in politics. I hope Boakai should come to his senses. Always around Boakai should come to their senses. They need to remember that what they are doing now, other leaders do it. What is the result? You don't have to suppress anybody. The country is for all Liberians. The rule of law should be in place. The presidency should not usurp the function of the other two branches of government. That is wrong. Liberians, Boakai and his people need to learn. Thank you.
Thank you so very kindly. Once you respect the rule of law and now you solve the function of others. Let's go to our brother Frank. My brother Frank, in the next 2 minutes, that will run up on this particular issue. What is going to be your recommendation?
Well,
Let's hear from you, sir.
Well, my recommendation here, first let me start with the AU because I heard my brother, talking about AU, we not do nothing, ECWA will not do nothing, which is very true because if you read the memo of the AU or the so-called OAU of 1963, it was stated or it is stated in there that the AU shall not interfere in an affair, whether economic or political or social. Okay, they will not interfere in the affair of that country unless they are called. All right. So that is why when a war was there, AU did not interfere. And again, let me make this clear here. Like Mr. Weir said, if there is any situation or conflict or whatsoever, no international community will come to our aid, and which is true. The war we just experienced, the 14 or the 15-year war, research told us, I'm not talking about Google search, research told us that the same United States told AU not to involve herself in a ceasefire of that war until she's ready. The same US told ECWA not to involve herself in a war until US is ready. And that is why the United States sat in your embassy and watched Liberian. I'm floating, I'm going out, resource coming, resource going in. Our country was being looted, doing our work as people die. Now, what am I saying this for? No one will come to our aid if war come or war just spark in our country today. We need to learn, like Mr. Weir said, we need to have a common denominator. There is nothing wrong with having different political party. But when it comes to the interests of the country, when it comes to the denominator of that country, Liberia, we all should put our differences aside and put politics or parties aside and look at the national interest of that nation, of everybody, and say, you know what, if we take this route, this is what's going to happen, and no one will come to our aid. Liberia should be protected by Liberian. And let's go to the resources. Like Mr. Weir said, I was in a country. The resources Liberia have is more than doubled the population of that nation. We have abundant resources. I can tell you this. When I went, my uncle and myself were traveling to Nimba County. I mean, we saw these mountains. And I was telling him, look at Nimba County have all these mountains. And that particular mountain, he was even telling me there is uranium. Uranium have been discovered in a particular mountain. I'm not even talking about the Nimba mine. And then while going right, I saw the iron ore. There's long train carrying the iron ore. And where is carrying it? We ain't got no factory, nothing. And another thing, you know, the Chinese are the one digging the sand. We went to a place, the Chinese are the one digging the sand. If you go there as a Liberian, that Chinese man, you'll pay the monitor. That Chinese man will be the cashier, you'll pay the monitor. Chinese man will load the truck and you leave. And I said, how can a Chinese man come in Liberia and come and sell sand to we Liberian to go buy our horses, to go buy whatsoever we want to buy, and Chinese man selling sand? Can Liberian man leave from here and go to China and start digging sand, selling it to the Chinese, and the Liberian man is the one receiving the money, everything charging the Chinese man? Why should we do this to ourselves? Why are the government officials doing this to Liberia? Where are they? Where are the lawmakers? Where are the governmental system we have? We're looking at foreigners doing all of these things, carrying our mineral resources, and we can benefit from these things. Liberian, I think, solution that I would bring here, let us forget about this too much hatred for one another, right? Because this is where our problem is coming from. We hate one another to the extent we cannot focus on the right thing, because I hate this person, even if this person is doing the right thing, because of my own personal hate or my own personal grudge, I use that as a campaign to make other people who don't understand the politics of the country and say this person is bad, this person is this. And exactly that is what they did to President George Manneh Weir, and we talk about it. People are using a personal hate against this man and doing it out of politics, making Liberia to go against this man. I think we should stop those things. When it comes to the interest of the country, if this person is doing right, let us support that person. If the person is actually doing the wrong thing, we can correct that person and talk about the wrong thing and the good thing. I think that's what we Liberians, we need to do to move our country forward than to run political propaganda. And then when you get there, you can't do what you said you are going to do.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from our brother, Detroit. My brother, within the next 2 minutes, with all of these things, you know, that is happening, especially in the security sector, what is going to be, you know, your own recommendation? What do you recommend as you conclude within the next 2 minutes on this?
Yeah, let me say something. But probably, you know, everybody can take different direction. Now, where we can argue and we debate. My two brothers then say Liberia is a rich nation. For me, I would disagree with them for a bit. Probably we've been a rich nation before, but for now, when you're talking about all the vast resources we get, we never, for me, we learn it in school. We know, but I know, but one three major resources that we get: the iron ore, the timber, the rubber, probably gold and diamond. Let me just put it to people. Let me put it to people here tonight. If Liberia was a rich nation, you know why why you are thinking Liberia was a rich nation? But let me tell you something tonight to the followers here. For me, probably I got it wrong. For me, what I know now, we're not a rich nation. Let the government corrupt. During the Tubman and Trouble era, we have vast resources. But at that time, our population was less. So the industrialized nation were building, so they needed our iron ore and the timber then. So they needed that time. And Tubman didn't show all the resources to contain us. But as the population grows, we see the suffering in the country. If we're so rich, then why we cannot discover all this uranium, all these things you're naming here? For me, maybe I get it wrong. Maybe I'm naive, but no. But I know all from Liberia. If we get vast resources today, no, plenty country account to the country. I'm not disputing you, but for me, we're not a rich nation. I would say something here. Our iron ore, one of the vast resources we get, they operated that mine for over 60 some more years. The Swedish American company called Lamco. So they operated that mine for 60 some more years. Mineral or feeling mineral don't grow. Metal steel or asalamita, they just taking that last one. Yeah, they just taking that last mineral now. So probably I'm wrong, but for me, Liberia not a rich nation. Probably we could debate it on another time. Because I see a lot of great politicians they say we're a rich nation, we're a rich nation. But how will be a rich nation today? We're suffering. We don't have no infrastructure. We never have road. So tell me they were not smart. Tell me they were not smart. So all corrupt. No problem. They were all corrupt. But for me, we're not a rich nation. But please, I was saying here tonight, I was saying here concerning our security apparatus. The only thing I'm saying here, they shouldn't get involved into our politics for 2029. Because we all know the Unity Party. The Unity Party, they were there for 12 good years. Evan Jensen said it. Then George then came for 6 years. Then they came back to power, but we all know how they took power. They took power through lies and violence. We know it. And they help Prince Johnson. We know how they took power. So for them to relinquish power, the way they're ruling, and what I say, I've foreseen it and I'm predicting it because the way they're doing the rule of law in that country, they're breaking all the rule of law, all taking position. So probably they won't go hold on to power. So that what I said, I'm predicting the military shouldn't get involved. They should stay aside. They should not triple our politics in that country. They shouldn't, because we come from a long way. The United Nations has spent billions of dollars, the international community, for us to go back to that kind of dark days again. It'll be a troubling scene. So the only thing the United Party can do now, they put that act together, they banned 5 years, and they can shift the narrative around and change the connection they have. That's the only way. But the way they're proceeding now, I'm seeing them developing nothing.
Thank you so very kindly. To just conclude on this issue from my end before we go to the next issue that has to do with what is happening in the first branch of government. I think from all indication, Gregory Cuomo should not stay be the police director of the Republic of Liberia. I think by now, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia, who is President Boakai, should relieve Gregory Cuomo of his post. And Foley, the chief of staff, I think from the event that happened with President Weah coming into the country, we all remember when President Weah traveled and was on his way back, where armed personnel went on the airport there. That was a signal that I felt in my mind that the authority or the lawmakers or whoever or President Boakai was going to call and say, no. We have the Liberian National Police that is well capacitated to handle issue of such. for people to go and receive their political leader, I don't think it called for army to come outside, but we saw the army coming outside. And nothing was said. We saw them, nothing was said. So for me, I think with the way things are and the way things are going, my fear is that we are about to see a civilian, somebody will say, uprising against the police. If we are not careful, and we are seeing it, for the fact that we are seeing civilian on the street chanting, oh, Ame, oh, Ame, oh, Ame, oh. We saw that during the 80s. Like, Mr. Weir, you gave a very fine analysis of what we saw during the 80s. We saw the same civilian. Oh, yeah. Let a woman born soldier, soldier kid top. These were the people that were celebrating for the military to take over. Not too long, we saw the same civilian. Monkey, calm down. Monkey, calm down. We are not strangers to these historical facts in Liberia. The common people always send a signal, and when you're listening to them, the message that they send, if you are a wise leader, you will know that something happened here. We can take it from just a face value. It's more than this. When you see civilians start to admire one group of the security sector over the other, especially the military, that should not be getting involved into civilian matter. The first branch of government that you will see as a means of security will be the police. Everywhere you go around the world. I don't know. I'm not travel all around the world, but for the countries that I've traveled, the first group of people that you will ever see will be the police, because they are the civilian arm of the government in ensuring stability, in ensuring peace and rule of law. Are the first people you will see. But in Liberia, it has become fearful when you will see the police will manhandle civilian. The morale of the police is becoming, to some extent, is in fact, it has dwindled, so to speak. It has lost its value. And for the people who are supposed to be the beneficiary of the police act or the police, let's say, work, to see them crying in the hands of police, it is scary for our country. To see police running behind motorcyclists, and these people are going on a car and they are getting killed. And you know, it brings me to the place where I think that this is not something that especially those of us in the diaspora should overlook. Because at the end of the day, with all that we are doing, we will want to go back home to go and see the family. We want to go back home for vacation, or one way or the other. We want to go back home. What we are seeing is not correct. And we want to use this means to call on Mr. Boakai that Gregory Como has outlived his usefulness. Gregory Como is no longer the person who is fit for that particular position. We think that Gregory Como should give way. There are qualified and competent Liberians who can handle that area. Now, I am not trying to give an excuse before I close on this that these things were not happening. But the way and manner in which it is happening under this government, we did not see it under the government of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah. Yet there were issues. I'm not coming here to say, oh yeah, there were not issues. There were issues. But the way it is happening now, people are dying in police cells. And even the commanders of these stations, they are still there. The commanders of these police stations, they are still there as commanders. There has been no absolutely investigation that have been long. We are seeing police brutality. They are beating journalists all around the place. And it seems that it's common. Somebody say, in America, police will shoot you. Is Liberia the United States of America? No. Liberia is not. Liberia is Liberia. Even if you are a police officer, there are you can use your discretion to be able to handle certain issue, to be able to de-escalate conflict. Those of us, by the grace of God, who to some extent have some, training when it comes to, the security through whatever means, in this modern day and age and time in our generation, the security forces that we now have is not the security forces of some 80 years ago, where when the men say fire, Wow. Where they say lay down, bang, you lay down. We are trained to use our circuit. That's why people get various training in different areas. There are times you use your discretion to say, no, chief, I will be able to refuse this unlawful order. There are lawful and unlawful order. Those days, maybe 60 years ago, there never used to be unlawful order. The chief gave you order, you do it. They say obey, obey, and obey. But in this generation that we have found ourselves in, yes, you can obey. But if the order is unlawful, you can use your discretion. The police is becoming unpopular, which is a bad sign for our democracy. Firstly, killing went on in Kinjo, nobody was held responsible. It seems as if even the justice minister, Councillor Oxford Tue, has lost his value in his taste. Because under no condition these things will be happening, and you expect investors to come to Liberia. They are observing this thing, they are seeing it, they are watching our shows. They are here, they are all over the place. They are watching everything that we are saying. You would think that they are not listening, but they are listening to what we are saying. And it's scary for our country. Liberians, let us continue to speak out against this thing. And my recommendation would be that Gregory Cuomo, we said it from the beginning, should not be near the security apparatus. Fuller should be giving a serious warning. But again, this is where we find ourselves. I want to go straight into the second issue.
Give me 30 seconds. Let me just add to what you were saying for what I even saw in Liberia when it comes to the police. You know, it was on the same platform, right? I can remember during the past 6 or 7 years, the great job, all right, the police were doing. It was on the same platform. We even advocated that the police pay should be increased for the kind of work that they are doing, because how can these representatives or senators be taking all these kind of huge salary, and then the men and women, right, that protect life and property, that don't sleep day and night, get these less pay? So it was even on this platform we advocated for them at that time, and we saw the kind of improvement, right, level of improvement that was in the police force. But with this current government, not to say I'm speaking against the government, I saw what I saw, right? Now, with this current government, I can tell you, I don't think the police are even, getting what it's supposed to get. I think maybe on a hierarchy level, those are the people that are getting what it's supposed to get. I tell you for this, we were driving, I was in the back of the car, 2 different times at our red light. We got there, the first time we got there, the police officer slow our car down. And none of us were even running, said nothing. And then I said to my little uncle that was driving, why is the police pulling you all over? Because I know here, when police tell you say stop, then there's something different, either red light or something, you did something, right? But he said to me, just said, allow me to know where he coming from, our country here. When we got there, this older man came, older man came to the door, hang on the car of the door and said, boss man, chief, I hear just driving you. Your man in here, your drive late here, your girl small late and not easy. And yeah, saying today we eat nothing, yes, so you go eat something. Police officer, I sat at the back of the car. I said, what? And I had my uncle say, oh, we ain't got nothing right now, we'll come back. Another time again, we're passing by again. That same red light again, another police officer slow all down again. Now I knew what he was coming for. The man came again. Boss man, you're just passing here. We here, we ain't eat nothing here. It's tough. When we go home, so we know what we're gonna do. Y'all drive late now. Y'all get late. Now I'm saying that to say, right, if these things can happen, do you think this police officer will actually protect law and life and property? Do you think they will actually be there to serve, good? No, these are the people. If you commit a crime, you get in late, they will go. They see you with drugs, you get in late, they will hold it and it will go, because they got to go home with something. That is why they're running behind, motorbike or taxis and things. If they ask you for something, you say no, they run behind you. They take your back, they leave you there, they hate you, whether you bleeding to die, they leave you there because they want the money. That's the kind of government or country we have running.
Thank you very much. Mr. Weir, of recent, President Boakai signed into law 3 executive orders. Prominent among this executive order that is now raising eyebrow is the Executive Order 141. And for the sake of time that we do not have in our favor, I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to read it very quickly. I'm going to read this Executive Order 141, and we want to hear from you. What is the implication? With all of these things that is happening, security, misbehaving, armed robbery, and all this other stuff, with the Executive Order 141, what you think is wrong with it? And I'm going to just read it very quickly. It says, for immediate press release, President Boakai signed Executive Order 141 on mandatory firearm registration, February 24th, 2025. Executive Mansion, Liberia. In an effort to strengthen national security and public safety, President Joseph Newman Boakai Sr. has issued Executive Order 141 mandating registration of all firearms in civilian possession. This order comes in response to the growing national security threats posed by illicit firearms, including military-style weapons, which have contributed to rising incidents of armed robbery or armed violence, including armed robberies and other criminal activities. The proliferation of unregistered small arms poses significant risks to Liberia's peace, security, and economic development. Under the Executive Order 141, all individuals in possession of military-style weapons and single-barrel guns must register and obtain a permit and license from the Liberia National Commission on Arms. That is the LRNCA, and the Liberia National Police, that is the LNP, within a 12-month period from the effective date of this order. Key provisions of the executive order include mandatory registration of civilian-owned arm or firearm following national firearm registration, making and recording of registered firearm in the national database to enhance traceability, volunteer surrendering of illicit and unauthorized firearms, including crafted weapon and military-style arms, to LRNCA for processing and potential registration, legal consequences for non-compliance, including administrative sanction and criminal procedure after the stipulated registration period. Okay, we just go down, etc., etc. I think we all get it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Let's hear from you, sir.
Before I comment on that, I wanted to just briefly clarify the issue of the resources in Liberia.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Liberia is rich, but the problem we have in the country is that, for example, we are still exporting raw materials like rubber. When are we going to recognize the country, for example, that we're going to train people to make tires? The IIO you are talking about, can we reach the stage where we can make our own steel? Because it's still exported. We are the oldest. This is the kind of thinking we need in Liberia. Even our own timber, we can make better woods to sell to the international community, but it should be well processed. That leadership. Once we do that, we will improve. Okay. Then the question, the registration of arms. There's a proliferation of arms in Liberia. But the problem I have with that executive order is there is no system in the first place. How are they going to twist? What is the record? What is the database? So many things happening in that country, we don't have a system for people to abide by certain rules. You talk about, it came with executive order. How are you going to enforce it? The police people in question, they are not even capable to go to a certain part of the country or certain part of the city. I hope it is not meant to target few people they know, who they see maybe as opposition. That's what I want to say. But as the president of the country, you can do executive order, but on what has been happening before he came to power, what is the stand Boakai has taken so far? Because even the last time I remember when I was in Liberia, red in Douala, driving through Douala. Somebody can just do anything and people will be standing by. That has nothing to do with the registration of weapons. People sleep at night. If you forget, you don't close your window. They steal all the burglary houses. All these things that are going on, it is not because of the registration of weapons. I'm not trying to say he doesn't have the right. But my only thinking is that I hope it is not meant to target certain people who they perceive that got weapons. If the people got weapons, yes, it is right to register the weapons. But do we have an organized system? From the time Boakai took office, I've never remember that there was a timeline that he has announced that certain things were going to be achieved in that country. Liberian people, there is no trust between the government and the people of Liberia. So that's what the Boakai government need to focus on, because the trust has broken. They don't trust the government. If the people don't trust you, there needs to be an effort for the Boakai government to regain the trust of the people. If the people don't trust you, how do you even get information to the security apparatus you are talking about? When I was in Liberia before I came to the States, I was with Inquirer. I was working for the Inquirer News Support this I came to America. And because of what I used to do, the person who was my main guy that was giving me the information, as anybody who knew me in Liberia from the other guy I was talking about, Freddie Taylor died, that's why I'm saying it. He was the one that was giving me all the information in Taylor government. So everything that I wrote was the fact. People used to wonder how I used to get the information. In Liberia, the same situation is going on. I want to free down, they arrested me. So many things going on in Liberia. The government, the Boakai government, all they're trying to do is, it is their time. People in politics, it is not about time. It should be about the Liberian people. The children in Liberia, they want to go to school. They don't need handout. They need opportunity to learn, to empower themselves. Nobody in Liberia needs handout. Where is the opportunity that this government is creating? What is the difference are they making? It is okay to do your executive order, but what are the efforts to move they talk about the children that are in the street, in the ghettos? What is the program for the ghetto program to leave the street?
Sorry, you are muted. Okay, he's muted. Okay, let's go to, I think there's a call from his end. Maybe that's why. But let's go to our brother Frank. My brother Frank, this Executive Order 141, you're listening to it. You've heard from so many angles. Let's hear from you. What is the fear? Is it okay for us now as a nation with all of these, scammages that we have in the security sector? Okay, Mr. Weir is back. Yes, sir. Just conclude from your answer.
Yeah, let me conclude to say that the executive order of the president, it's not enough. The main security information in Liberia is the economic problem. The main security of Liberia is the economic problem. That is why anybody who builds house, like I build house in Liberia, like everybody building fence. Because how can you alone live somewhere when everybody is suffering? Then you don't get the money here and there. To solve the security problem, try to provide means to improve the livelihood of the Liberian people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Weir. Thank you so much. Let's go to our brother Frank. My brother Frank, Executive Order 141. What is it? Is it good for us right now? Do we have the capacity? Do we have the training? And do we even have, that particular atmosphere in Liberia? Are we trained enough to be able to, handle these things? Let's hear from you, my brother.
First of all, let me say this. I'm going to be clear and blunt about it. All right. That executive order by the president, it is wrong. It was wrong. And I'm saying it again. It is meaningless. All right. So just sit down and write executive order because you feel you are the president, you want to exercise power and thing. what brought to the conclusion of the executive order? Because that's something that I think the Liberian people want to know. What brought to the conclusion of that executive order for the president to pass an executive order for Liberian citizens all around the country to tow arm to protect themselves? What brought about that executive order? What is the threat to the nation that swiftly the president have to make that executive order to say, Liberian people, it is about time that the situation that we have found ourselves in, it is about time that I am giving you the power, the mandate to go and register and make sure and have your arm all around the nation to protect you. What brought about that conclusion? Because there are many factors in the country. There are many instances or circumstances, all right, or differences in the country that this president, this incompetent president, should have carried or supposed to carry on an executive order. I mean, look at education, the educational sector. I mean, you came there, all right? Josh Weah, he brought free tuition to colleges or universities and things. You came there, I think you should increase it because as a rescue mission, you came in power. You're supposed to, because President Josh Weah did not carry an executive order in free tuition. I think this is why he's supposed to carry the executive order. President Josh Weah did not carry, or how they call it, vocational institution where he carried on executive order. This is why he's supposed to carry. President Josh Weah did not carry an executive order to say, you know what, from kindergarten or from ABC to whatsoever level, right? Go to school free, no tuition, no registration. Those are areas looking at the country that you need to carry on an executive order. Now, looking at the circumstances, looking at the illiteracy rate, looking at the low level, all right, of education, when it comes to carrying arms, when it comes to carrying firearms in the country, right? Looking at the level in which people are angry in that country. For example, Brother Prince, the last time I was still in Liberia, a boy was selling a coconut, and another individual went to buy this coconut. And according to the purchaser, the seller was taking time to get his change. And he took the coconut knife and stabbed this boy. This boy died. Imagine this. Just because someone said, you're taking your time to get my change. And I took a knife, the same coconut knife, and stabbed this seller, this little boy who was selling along with his older relative. Stabbed this boy died for no reason.
And that incident happened in Nukutan.
Yes.
Yeah? In Nukutan.
Yes, you see, so instances of that. I mean, people are mad in this country, right? And then you look at people and then tell them, say, go and register and your firearm. Because if you tell people go and register your firearm, right, you simply trying to tell them you are qualified to carry firearm everywhere you go. Because when it is registered, I am allowed to carry with me. Because you're telling me to protect myself. If anybody do anything, even little argument that is not called for taking arm to shoot, I will shoot. Because I will say I was fighting for my right. I was fighting for my life. My life was in danger. And I don't think Liberia is in a position right now where no regulation passed down. For example, I mean, look at all the chaos going in the country. You can't even solve it. All right. And you say we should register firearm. Now, firearm, they are, most of them, they are almost the same, right? Only the series number are different. Do you have the system to track the series number? Because I may have the same arm as this person, right? But what happened here is the round or the ammunition are not the same. So my a firearm have a series number along with the shot. So just because I have the same firearm and then the person have the same firearm, and then you go and say, oh, the firearm there that it was used in this place, and then you will come after innocent people and then put innocent people in there and think. I don't think Liberia had that security system, and Liberia had that system to carry firearm. And I think this executive order, the president was wrong.
Thank you. Let's hear from our brother Wilmon. My brother Wilmon, Executive Order 141. You are in the Western world. You know, we carry our arms everywhere. In fact, I speak to you. I'll be going out. I have a license to carry, with the exception of my, maybe work own. We get our own whatever. So let's hear from you. I'm sorry, you are muted. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Hello?
Yep.
You
Yeah.
can hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, we are getting you. Yeah, we are getting you. Let's hear from
Okay. For me, in Europe, we don't have army here. That's the difference between a part of your constitution. In your constitution, in America, I know that what kind of amendment whatsoever you get ready to carry arm. For us, we don't carry arm in Europe. Our rate of killing people here is less than America. America probably worse. But listen, it's laughable, Prince. It's a distraction. Like what I tell you, I say all the opposition people, you're not coming to power. The Unity Party will rule you on the eternity. You know what? It's a playing game. The president talking about registering arm. They will never allow no opposition to register the arm. So Unity Party will register the arm. It's a simple calculation. We get common sense. I want to bring people will not stupid here. So it left with all the opposition block. The Unity Party, the Liberty Party, the CDC, the ANC, the ALP. You all come together and go and carry the report to the Supreme Court. It never happened in our nation history before. A gullible nation that came from war, you say the people should bear arm to register arm. Well, we don't have common electricity, we don't have computer system for database. As my brother said, it's a chaos. We'll fight war again, brother. As my brother said, the targeting opposition. You're in all the opposition. The way I told you, the way I say I'm not a member of CDC, because CDC is a weak party. I support only the president, the former president. If the president now run again, I don't care about politics in Liberia. The Unity Party, I told you, they won't hold on to power for many, many years. After Boakai, they say won't hold on to power. So they will put everything on the table to hold on to power. It's a serious thing. Believe me or not. I call it spade or spade. The people love power. They love power. And why they stretching that country on George Weah, they say they will end the country. They were ready to end our country, but Georgia was smart and calculated for the peace of that nation. He gave power over. But they will say hold on to power. We don't have common electricity. We're suffering. We spent $300 million to import for goods and services. Then President Boakai talking about Executive Order 141 for arm. It's laughable. For me, it's laughable. The opposition need to come and debunk that statement and rebuke it and tell the president, say no. Our country will never burn arm. You also the Liberian Civil War, 250,000 Liberians died. And disability in the country just engulfed the nation. Please, with 5 million people. We don't even have 10,000 police. You remember Georgia was talking about CCTV? The whole Unity Party contention, the block of the Unity Party, they start condemning CCTV. It's we live in a modern world. Georgia was talking because he was just talking about the security, but you never want to talk about arm. But they're not even talking about CCTV to protect the country, to get CCTV to federal causes, or the government brings CCTV to supply people with aid. You think about the table library to register arm? What happened before? It never happened in our history before. So where the thing coming from? So for me, they want to stay in power, Prince. They want to stay in power. And those that will register their arm, that's so are them. So are them. The people threatening the peace of that nation. They will never get other citizenship to register arm. If they register arm in that country, how can, as Frank said, how can they track arm down? We don't have computer system. We don't have no database. We don't have nothing continuing. We don't have computer system. We don't have common electricity. Boakai must be talking about having executive order to bring electricity in the country, to do other things, as my brother said. Enough for arm. This is beyond, well, no African country have these things. I'm surprised. There's no African country we've been to, we're part of African country. What kind of African country people burying arm in? Even the most sophisticated, the greatest country called Nigeria, where there's a lot of crime rate, people not burying arm. The only thing we need to enlist a lot of people in our police. We get less police. We get 5 million people. We don't even have 10,000 police because we don't have the money to sustain this police. Our borders are all weak. What the government, what Boakai should do, they should say, let's look for money to have the 10 or 15,000 police to govern the country. That's what they need to say. But they're not saying for citizens to bear arms. It will be a serious bloodbath. It will be a chaos in our country. People will kill people. The hatred already embedded in our DNA. Then we get social media. As friends said, it will be another war. People will, like there will be dead valley every day in the Republic of Liberia when people bear arms. So I pray the legislature shouldn't accept that. They should tell the president, even those that love this country, the Unity Party that loves the country for the future of their children, we shouldn't bear arms. It's laughable, Prince. It will be a serious calamity. Let's look at all answer. We don't have the know-how. We don't have the system. We don't have the electricity. So how should we bear arms? We can never trace nothing. Now what I have to say is laughable, man. We can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So thank you. With this issue of the arm, and I want to borrow from Mr. Weir, one thing we must understand, and I believe Mr. Boakai, somebody who have worked in the government and has vast experience, quote unquote, should understand that there are so many things that we as a nation, we are short of, for which we cannot make some of these things that are on the book to be open to everybody. Because it's almost like giving a lead way for people now to just do whatever they want to do. I was in Liberia during the election. I was in Nimba. Traveled to Nimba. We went to Cape Ma, bombing, where we went to Bon County, and etc. In Nimba, to be specific, the night of the election, the voting, you call last night, the kind of arm that I saw in the hands of these boys,
wow,
it was terrible. Single barrel. The guy, I
imagine.
mean, who made single barrel?
Wow.
We were in Nimba. Who made single barrel? We were out up to 2 o'clock. And this is what happened, right? When these guys start to come around, when the noise started, the police guys that were on the scene or that took us, that we all went together. The police officer said, my man, you move from here. I only one person in the whole car get gone. One man. All you see in the plane get gone. You see all the men are passing. You see, and I said, I said, what I saw. More than 8 person with different who made single barrel in the net. Even if I were early in the morning by 1 o'clock. Remember the incident where they say some people stole the ballot box? We're there when that thing happened. We're there when it happened. Right on the scene. And now that somewhere we're sunny. The police guy said, my man, you need to move from here. So then I said, I'm moving from here. They plan I'm moving from here. The man, I'm moving from here. We're going. We're going. You see the men coming around, you see what in their hand. He said, we're going. Before we could even meet, the men they go in the pickup. They were gone. They left us there. Now, I am saying this to mean that this is just to tell you how unserious the government is. There are so many things you can pass executive order on. The first thing is our court system is so weak to the extent people can commit crime and walk away with impunity. For example, look at what happened to our sister Jessica from this particular American guy,
Lucas,
who almost killed that girl. And what happened? That man walked out of that court free. Let's look at this girl, the late Shalom Musu, who Councilor Gloria Mususka, who is now with Noka, said she pepper sprayed the person. That girl was murdered. At the end of the day, there were people who were put in prison. What happened? When the Unity Party took over, these people walked away free. There are so many incidents. Let's look at what happened to Amanda Nimbo in Broadville, right in front of the police station. This girl was killed. When down in front of the police station, this girl was robbed and she was stabbed and killed right in front of the police station. Let's look at even how the police handling the legal weapon, so to speak. The police that get a legal weapon, look at how they are handling their weapons. We have heard of police brutality. Look at of recent in Broadville. What happened? A police officer who was not even on duty Only because he said he saw people, according to him, allegedly he saw people smoking. Took his arm there and discharged his arm. A 17 years old boy lost his life. According to the information, the police officer that did that, they say they carried the man to the police station. After that, they say the man ran away. The man ran away from the police station. He ran away from the police cell. With the level of entitlement, and somebody will say this arrogant amongst our leaders, people who are so-called attached to power. It's not like here in the United States, like I was saying the last time. People who are attached to power, they are afraid. Their children are even afraid to cause problem, because when you who are associated with people who are in government, when you make mistake, they can even drag the person inside. They can drag the person inside, and they may end up losing their job because of you. But now in Liberia, our government official children, or even they themselves, they are so arrogant. Somebody will look at you intentionally and post it on your ear when you talk, you say, you know who am I? You know who am I? We do not want to have arms coming in the hands of our kids. Look at quite recently, something happened in Liberia. You remember this student at a school, I think I've forgotten the name of the school, who carried a power gun to the school and he shot a girl and killed the girl? I don't know if some of you can remember that story. The boy who took his arm, his father's arm, and took it to the school horse. And while they were
Yes.
playing, according to them, they said they were playing, he was playing with the arm, and bam, he discharged the weapon. The weapon was discharged, and he killed another girl. Do we have the energy to be able to take care of these things? Do we even have the system
That's what I'm saying. No
to
system.
track this thing, like Mr. Weah was saying? Do we have the system? In police station, when you go there, even the case that they took there some 3 weeks ago, go back and see if you see it there. You don't even see it. If people are harassing police station, police station. The last time one of my men was telling me, say to a police station there, the commander office. The commander, you know, they did a late thing, they can keep their late money there, their susu money. Imagine police commander keeping susu money in your office. The man say the burger right office. Police commander say the burger right office, they stole the money from there. Can you imagine the fun? Police commander, he said, I said, oh, I put the money there. They say the person, he said the burger right the office. They break the door and take the money from inside. The people susu money. They gone December. Almost $128,000 because they were, you know, people putting their susu, you know. So according to the police commander, he went to the bank, he finished taking the money from there, he brought the money was in your office. You know, that susu police officer involved in the saying now. So that day that they're supposed to eat. He left the money. He said he went to go, you got wrong on some kind of OPI. Before he come back, he said, oh, the people bust the office, they stole the money from there. In police station, they stealing money. In police station, people running away. This is to tell you that we do not even have the system to take care of the things that are even more common in our society. Then you're talking about giving arms, talking about putting more register arm. At the end of the day, we will not be surprised because these things has happened. There are bad apples in the police that will use. In fact, they are even some of them using their legal weapons and giving it to people to go and rob. It's common. It's not something that we're saying to denigrate this. This is something that is very common. There are some bad police officers, some bad cops that have been using their arms and giving it to people to go and commit crimes. And at the end of the day, nothing happened.
It happened in the West too.
Joseph Newman Boakai should be talking about passing executive order that will empower, for example, school kids that will have the means to free transportation on any public bus, so to speak, that they will not pay money. We expect an executive order that Mr. Boakai will pass along. We are passing an executive order to ensure that whoever abuse a woman, that person will be dealt with in keeping with law. So there are so many things that we need executive order on. You don't pass executive order on this thing. You pass executive order on arm only because you want for people now to start selling arms and ammunition in Liberia. You know how toxic our society is going to be? Even without people getting legal weapon, look at what is happening. The people in Liberia, they are so angry. The anger has taken over to the extent, small thing happen, before you go and say, oh, the other man be a wife, he own a life is worth. Oh, the other boy,
Look at the more violent in the country. The more violent
the amount
alone.
of more violent. So you are not even doing anything to be able to pass a law that will protect the citizens against police brutality. You are not doing anything that will protect the people, because what brings violence is people who are less busy. Do we have jobs? No. The motorcyclist that used to go do that lay 1 2 1 2, you take them from on the street. So the rate of crime and anger increase. It is scary. I think that this executive order is not in the interest of Liberians or Liberia. It is used as a means to infuse arm in our system. Already, we don't even know how to take care of arm. The people who are even trained to take care, they don't even know how to take care of arm. They are not trained enough to even take care of arm. These are the kind of people that we're having, and you are telling us that it's okay. People can carry arm. It is scary. I think it's not in the interest of Liberia, and this is not going to help us at all. At all, it's not going to help us. But welcome, my sister Fita. Even though we have gone very, very significant period in, but welcome, Fita, welcome.
Thank you. When you see me coming in late today, they are coming from work.
I know. From work, I know. But let's go to the next issue. But before going to the next issue, uh, I just want to hear from you. You met us talking about this issue of Executive Order 141, where the president say now people who get armed, they can carry their arm to the Armed Commission and register it. They can carry it to the police and register it. And we talk about the level of police brutality in Liberia, what we saw, and the rising tension amongst the security apparatus. Let's give you 3 minutes at least to just run over it while we go to our last discussion.
Is that me?
Yeah, Fita.
Oh, okay. Well, my brother, it's so sorry for it. It's funny. Liberian, our country is so interesting. We don't know what to tell these people in our country. Well, I can't say much on this one because I know the whole world already know the answer to this. But it is very painful and shameful that we have reckless leaders. They have no idea what they are doing to their citizens. And they don't, I don't think they care. Because if they do, they were going to have that restriction towards their citizen. But there's no restriction. How can a police officer and an army man or armed man, both of you are armed, men, and you're fighting improperly? So what are we going to call for rescue? And they're telling people to have their own arms and stuff. I mean, the attitude like we're going to be worse now. The criminal will be more than, because anybody can just have their own arms now. Pray, I don't see no sense in our whole thing, man, my dear. You don't jump to the different topic. The people they're not doing well in our country. They're playing around. They're playing around.
Thank you so very kindly, Mr. Weir. I want us to go to this last issue, and after this, the audience, the line is going to be open. You can call for questions, comments, or concern. This has to do with the level of corruption in Liberia, Mr. Weir. Everywhere, I mean, almost everywhere, there are high level of corruption, and unfortunately, the only thing that we see, they will either walk away or will be suspended. And I'm going to give instances. One, let's look at the LRRC situation, where $1 million was placed in the LRRC coffers for Liberians that were coming from Ghana to Liberia, so that at least when they come to Liberia, small thing can be given to them to be able to reintegrate them in the society, at least to be able to get $5 or $10 in their pockets while they look around. Patrick Wozi, who was the head of the LRRC, in fact, he stole that money because we saw what happened. The fake ID card of people who were never refugee in Ghana, and they took that money and ate that money. The actual beneficiary of people who were supposed to benefit, they never benefited from that particular process. The only thing that happened Patrick Wosi was suspended. Case closed. Another case is what we saw happening at how you call the Commerce Ministry. Ami Moda used a huge chunk of the Liberian people money. At the end of the day, when the pressure came from the public, from all of us, Ami Moda said he is resigning and he walked away with impunity. There is just noise all over in the various ministries and agencies about the issue of money, corruption, corruption. And it seems as if nobody is being placed on the witness stand or wherever to ensure that these people account. They are either suspended or they walk away with impunity. And corruption was one of the major campaign message of the Unity Party opposition now that they are in government. But today we are seeing the worst all over the place. From El Chopo RC to the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance, they were brave enough for them. They even falsify a document from the U.S. Embassy for a contract. Can you imagine? U.S. Embassy for a painting contract. They falsified that document. Nothing came of it. Right in the office of the president, we know of this scholarship something. People say, oh, we'll get scholarship. At the end of the day, nobody is held accountable for that scholarship fund. It went to the the first lady office. They say they get another scholarship again. Nothing happening around the place. Sir, let's hear from you. This fight of corruption in this government. What is happening? Do
Okay.
promise that we're going to fight corruption? Let's hear from you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sherry. As I said, it is very disappointing. The problem we have in Liberia is that we Liberians see service as an opportunity to grab for ourselves. We don't see position as service rendering or giving services to people. But for each time we are put in power, we see that as a means to grab whatever passes through the corridor of our offices. So we need to recognize that from the presidency down, the purpose of your position is to serve the Liberian people. But the way it is being done in Liberia, they see that as.
Sorry, you are muted. You are muted, sir. Okay, I think probably there's a call because whenever a call comes in like that, sometimes you have these things happening. But let's go to our brother Frank, and I want you to use. Okay, he's back. All right, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so
The
what I
floor
was
is
saying is that I have been in Liberia every year. I'm there. I go to offices. This is not just starting, and this is why we expected Boakai to change. That where anybody is in power, whenever you are appointed today, well, you don't see your position as service position. You see that. So if you did something for somebody for which you were appointed, you think that you are doing the people favor, so they got to give you something, and that is killing the country. Every office you go to process the paper, they will say no in even. So I don't know how to explain it, but that concept of treating service as favor has to change. When you are appointed to a position, the purpose of that position is to serve the Liberian people, and that is specified in Article 1 of the Constitution. Is to serve the people, the purpose of any position. But in order to change this, beginning with the president, like what you talk about just about scholarship in this country, no scholarship funding in the president office, vice president office, or lawmaker office. The money is somewhere you got to apply. Student loan that we all have, you know what I'm talking about here. That is controlled by independent system. But in our country, it's the opposite. all those who are government officials, like especially lawmakers, they got a scholarship fund in their offices. Why can't they make it public? Why there can be institution for people to apply for scholarship if they are qualified, if they meet the requirements? Boakai was supposed to make all the changes to deal with corruption. I haven't heard anything. As I was reading about something where they say there's a case against two in court. I don't know how far that case will go. Well, the even declaration of asset, all of that stuff was never done under Boakai. That was supposed to be done before anybody took position, but that never happened. So what I'm saying, Shirley, Boakai is not serious. We need somebody who would think outside the box that will change Liberia. And for that to happen, Liberians, all Liberians need to know that God will not come from heaven. We are still on the road from Egypt to Canaan. You know, the children of Israel, when they were leaving Egypt to Canaan, they were praying for manna to fall from heaven. Those days are gone. We have to work our way through prosperity. America will not help. Hero will not help. Nobody will help. Only Liberians can help Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you so very kindly. Let's hear from our brother Frank, and we'll go to our sister Fita on this issue of corruption. Everywhere corruption. These people, they lied on people, for which there were others who were placed on sanction about this issue of corruption. Corruption everywhere. Oh, the person steal money. Oh, the person steal money. Today we are seeing the worst. And even what is happening, no action is being taken against people who are involved in this act. Let's hear from you, my brother Frank, in the next 2 minutes. And
Thank you
then
so
we'll
much.
go to our sister Fita, and then we'll come to our brother Frank.
Thank you
And then
so
we'll
much.
open the line for maybe people who wants to call. 1 or 2 calls, and then we'll call it a day. Let's hear from you, brother.
Thank you so much, Brother Prince. You know, when we hear the Joseph Bucket administration talking about, and their supporter talking about, they are the one to fight corruption, right? It looks laughable, and it's like they are content creators. All right, here it is. How can a man who does not have impact on his own life, as they say, a 42 years old man experience or governmental, work or whatsoever experience, or 46 now, right? But he does not have impact on his own life. How can this man come and have an impact on more than 5 million people? How can this man come and have an impact on a nation that is 177 years old? How can such a man come, and have any impact? Now, somebody may say, why should I say that? But this was the same Boakai man that told us again, he's not fit to fight corruption. This was the same Boakai man that told us indirectly, he's not fit to fight corruption. Indirectly, he's not fit because he have had no impact on his own life. Say he served or he been serving in or that concerns our country have served him because he have never served the country have been serving him. And since the country have been serving him and paying him, this is a man that told indirectly he have never had impact on his own life. Now, why do I say that? This was the man right after 2018 election, after spending 12 years in power, getting monthly salary, getting yearly salary, allowance and bonuses, right? This man earned over millions of dollars. But within a scene 2018, this man told us he was unable to manage his money, and then he went broke. And as in our scene 2018, this man told us he then went to start crediting money from banks in order to live his life. How can such a man come to power to have impact on you? How can such a man come to power to fight corruption? Now, you cannot be fighting corruption, first of all, come in, violate the same constitution that need to protect you in fighting corruption. The same constitution, the same law, the same rule and regulation that need to protect you, the government, that need to be on your side. I mean, even the court that need to be on your side. You cannot go against the court. You cannot violate the court. And then you say you're fighting corruption to the extent the court even call you and say, no, Mr. Man, you are going the wrong way, to the extent a common citizens and the national government went to court, to the extent the court found the national government wrong and guilty of corruption, of violating rule of law. How can such a man come to fight corruption? Now, you cannot be fighting corruption, then somebody steal. And then instead of you taking that person to court, right, to get the money back, and there is evidence that the money was stolen. But what happened? You suspend the person, send the person to another government branch or another entity to work, and you leave the person there, and then you say you're fighting corruption. You cannot fight corruption in that way. Now, you can't be fighting corruption, and then you come, all your government officials, all your cabinet, all the people you appointed, right? They're all buying big cars, expensive cars. And then you say you're fighting corruption. Hey, God, how can you rescue people like that? And you know, look, let us be frank here. Boakai is not a man or a presidential material. I'm using that same word they used to use on President George Weah to come and rescue Liberia. The biggest mistake Liberian ever did was to trust a man who have outlived his life, where he had no impact on his life, his children, his wife, and his grandchildren. But this man came back to rescue himself because the money he should have put in the bank for his great-grandchildren or his children, he did not put it there. He misused it. The wife misused it. And then you gave him a chance back to come and steal those money and then put it in a bank for his children for these 5 years. And then you depend on such a man to come and rescue me, to rescue you. How can a man who have lived his life already in 90 come and rescue a 20 years old man who brain is fresh, who is thinking, when this man have dementia problem? Now, that is not an insult, but when you're 90 years old, everybody going to have dementia, everybody going to have schizophrenia when they are that age. So it is the truth that we're saying here. You don't put such a man in power who take 1 hour, 2 hours to think, to process information, to process things. You don't take such a man and give him your country. We can't hear you, Prince.
Sorry, you said you are not getting me? Hello?
Hearing you now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Fita, let's hear from you, Mama. Let's hear from you. The high level of corruption all around the place. What is going on? Let's hear from you, Mama.
You see me killing myself, Franco, my brother from Boakai, Liberian for ask for it. That's what we asked for it. This man was able to come on show and tell Liberian that he been borrowing money for IGT Bank. That the same man you're trusted with your country. They identical man used to come to America here. Henry Koska used to collect money. And I said, this is some oil we pay. Why can't you owe me money or you gotta pay my money back? He gotta pay me back. Because when you come in the country here, we don't sleep. Papier, and he don't want. Like Brentford, the country will say they trust him to go meeting with president. That man does not have no knowledge of managing anything. Not little bit of economic. He doesn't have no inch towards that. See how they lavishing money in our country. Just to remove a speaker. You pay people millions of dollars. When the country need that millions of dollars to invest, to do something. You are giving Richard Kuhn $9 million to go sit in our office to talk rubbish to Liberian. The man is not even, it's not even a counter speaker. He already misbehaving like a madman. Allowing people to drill a car What kind of sound human being would do that? You are people supposed to bring case to judge to say, I will nail you, I will do this to you, but you are the one, the regulars, who does not even know the law, but you want to be a lawyer, you want to be the big person because money is speaking. This government does not even know what they're doing, my dear. They're just lavishing Liberian money, placing it to where they're supposed to put it. You talking about managing? They don't manage it. They will manage until they will manage Liberia. They will sell everybody in our country. We all will be on a question mark. Some of our houses in our property in our country, they will sell all because they are so greedy for money. These animals that come to power, they are too greedy for money. Everything is money, 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 money. You guys are going to 2 years now. What have you? What is going on? What is the better thing that you're doing in our country? The scholarship my brother was just talking about. They had it. They had a scholarship, but they don't want to give it to nobody. The people are suffering. They don't want to give it to them. They want to give it to their family. They want to educate their people, not the other people. So they put it on the cover. Example, during the time my father passed away, my brother was supposed to come for the burial. It been happening. We put the application in, it went through. Time for him to go for interview, the counter said they can't see a name in the computer. Where it go? Who took you from there? Who took the name from there after your Isaac to come for interview? For his visa to be ready to come and bury his father. Where his name gone? When you were citizen in America, yeah, they have it, yeah, the immigration have it, yeah, they on file. They say we see your brother name, but Liberia said they can't find it. The news my brother need to give it a different person to travel. Corruption will not finish in Liberia. And and that's something for us to even talk about because we already know. The one you call president, they were backing person around here. You don't know how to manage. Somebody who was vice president for 12 good years does not save any money. His wife for fried car. Setting cold water to security. That kind of person you're going to be a president. So what you expect to do? What are we expecting from him? The Alzheimer is eating his hair. The dementia is penetrating through him. That man look at a 90-year-old man and go get him a job. When a 22, 50 years old underage graduate have degrees, they are sitting right in Liberia struggling for a job. They can't find it. When are we going to do something in our little country? When? After they finish damaging our whole country? After they not sell everybody in our country? Lord, the debt that will come on our head. The debt are adding on, they're not small debt. Liberia is growing back up. And we're going to owe people that are small owing. Because these people just keep taking money, money, money. That's all their problem, money. Rachel, whatsoever you take to Yeke Koluba the few days, and Yeke was going to be in a moon. Then they're not be fight in that place there. You're able Yeke? Yeah. Koluba, you're able here? You call yourself speaker, regime speaker. And not educated people now. To tell you that he's not coming to represent you. The man already separate everything. Tell you he's a regime speaker. So that's me. I'm here for my own interests. My political party, the people I'm serving, they're the interests I'm here for. I don't care about your Liberians. Wait, the time we always start speaking the BB book, the English, the time I wish you, the time will come. The rather thing said they're too educated by us. You call yourself regime and speaker. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. My brother, Wilma, let's hear from you, sir. Let's hear from you on this.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Let me destroy the narrative between Unity Party and CDC corruption. Let me destroy the narrative. Facts here. All the followers you share this video. Let's call it spade or space here. I'm talking about the Unity Party compared to CDC. They were there for 12 years on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Now me say so, IMF, the World Bank, United Nations, on Ellen and Boakai were one of the most corrupt government. Let me break pieces down for Liberian people here. They allocated over $300 million. $300 million for the international community to bring electricity in the country. On Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Boakai were having generator in the country, Liberian people. They spoiled our money. They never brought total electricity in Liberia. Over $300 million. They allocated millions of dollars to renovate the executive mansion. Under that watch, it failed. They never do it on the jury when they came to power. Under that administration, 12 good years, they have over $4 to $5 billion in foreign direct investment. Anything I'm saying, I'm going to go fact check it, Google it. I live in Europe here. Facts. So you cannot compare that propaganda narrative. Let me break it down for them. Under the CDC, the World Bank, all the monetary institutions, CDC passed the MCC scorecard in corruption. All that thing they were preaching, that was also propaganda. So laugh. All that sorry they were preaching. When CDC could pass a MCC scorecard, international body that will compare and contract everything. See, just check the record. On the Samuel D12, your government suffering today, your government finding hard time to put that country on a path down. You know why? Just $51 million from usage subtracted from the other than crying wolf. Government never said they were smart and educated. We're not superior anymore. Today, they bring up. But when I say government cannot compare to Samuel D12, that way you can see the wish hunt today, the wish hunt, the dragging to court, they won't bring to justice because why they cannot deliver. Just $51 million subtracted from usage. Government telling the world, telling Liberian to fast and pray. What a shame. On George Weah, COVID King, where all the world was locked down, international community locked down for 2.5 years. George Weah delivered. So if you're doing comparison, you don't need a propaganda, you don't need all that narrative. There was also propaganda that was spread because they wanted to come to power. Please watch them today. The Mo Ali, the other two, you know what they're doing in the country today? They're building the same houses, the Jefferson coaching, they were building through that salary. They're building the same mansion, they were crying on OCDC Bay mansion. How can you work for 6 years, you don't pay house? They were all jealous. They were all embedded. The jealous were embedded into that DNA all over them. They couldn't send another 6 years for George Weah. So that while all of them were destroyed, they wanted to destroy the peace of that country. They came to power through jealousy because they couldn't send another 6 years. All of them today building the same houses. All of them riding the same car. They're getting the same gas coupon. Because they couldn't stand the other group of guys that came to power because they were there for 12 good years. On early, the more early they were working on early Johnson Sirleaf. All of them were working, but they never performed with that money. They went broke. But when George Weah came to power, all the young guys they started building their houses and things. And how they used to say, oh, they joined color, the stealing. But under the MCC scorecard, the facts are there. CDC passed with flying color on corruption. How can you compare and contrast? Look at what's happening now. Giddies from public work, $22 million in more. What is student union? What is suit there today? They're not protesting for that kind of money. We can see corruption all over the place. Just recently, Boakai got delivered a water pump. More early, they said that $250,000 for that $10,000, $15,000 project. So we can see the corruption all over the place. So I can compare and contrast. You can never compare the CDC government for 6 years to the Unity Party government for 2 years and president now. You cannot compare. They were all on propaganda. The Henry Costa, the whole internet was full with propagandas and lies. But you cannot govern with lies. That's the difference. That's why they're feeding the peace. That's why it's so difficult for them. They cannot show no project. Yeah, Boakai parading to the Bopolu Hospital, the Emery Hospital. When you go to the Emery Hospital, the hospital already completed. If you want to send medicine to the hospital, use your health minister to carry medicine there. When you go parade to the hospital, and the main bill, the same thing you were criticizing. You were talking about what a hospital will eat. What is the bread and butter issue today? Everything skyrocketing in the country, Prince. gasoline, everything, our daily community, all skyrocketing, high prices high to the standard that we cannot afford. So the Unity Party, I'm not seeing them turn anything around. They say they were the smart people, but trying to compare Unity Party, person from past 2 years and 1 year and a half, you cannot compare with the CDC. They were all myth or all lies in propaganda they spread under the CDC government. And what today they are dragging to pray, they want drag to praising. So I don't want to say they just wish hunting, but they cannot compare. They on the wrong part of history. That's what I tell them to say.
Thank you so much, my brother. I want to take this time to extend my thanks and appreciation to Mr. Weir for taking up the time to be with us on set. I really want to appreciate you for coming on. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support and everything that you continue to do. Thank you so very kindly. We hope that we can have more of such discussion and maybe a bit earlier, so that we can spend more time. But we really want to appreciate you for taking up the time to come. And to our sister who just came from work, I know she's very tired. It's not easy. Came from work very tired, but you jump on the show. I want to say thank you so much for everything that you continue to do. So at this time, we just want to give you an opportunity to hear your parting comment, Mr. Weir, since you are the guest, and then we'll call this a day.
Okay, thank you, Prince. This is my first time being here today. But here is what I can say. The problem in that country is not a making of one particular person. It has been existing for a long time, and we need to put in place a structure. We need the government that will put in place a structure. This going election, I was in Liberia, Prince knows, I was supporting Congo. That country will never be fixed, no matter who gets there. Even if you put Jesus Christ in power today, if you don't change that structure of governance, because what's happening that people are occupying that corrupt structure. Okay, this is our time, so we will not change it. So you need someone who will be willing to change that structure. And for that to happen, we need Liberians to speak out. We need Liberians to hold their leaders accountable.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Weir, and I want to say thanks to all the time I've caught up with us. So until we meet again next week, Friday, have yourself a God bless day and bye from our end.
Thank you.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg them. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.